Well, hello everyone and welcome. Thanks for joining us today at the virtual XSYS Innovation event. We are really glad that you're here with us today, and we hope that you get to see plate making like you've never seen before. We're very excited about this opportunity to share this technology with you. So, just a little bit of introductions. I'm Dan Rosen, and I'm the sales director here at XSYS North America, and joining me is my good friend, James Van Buskirk, or JVB.
Good morning, Dan.
Are you ready?
I am ready and excited.
Okay, this is going to be a great demonstration of technology. We also have, waiting for us by the equipment, Casper. Casper Lindholt is our senior technical engineer visiting from Europe, so we'll be seeing Casper in just a moment. And we just do want to give you a quick overview of what's on the agenda. We're going to make this presentation quick and efficient of time, but full of information. A little bit about who is XSYS, just so that we can update you on that. Then we're going to go into a little bit about plates and imaging, followed by an overview of the Katina equipment, and then a live demonstration. So that demo will then be followed with a Q&A, where we will be taking questions from the audience, and JVB will be reading them off to us and trying to stump us. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure we'll be able to handle it. A little bit about our facility here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we have a technical center here. We've recently expanded it and added full automated plate making. We actually have all types of plate making here: thermal, solvent, smaller and larger formats, and a technical measurement lab and training center. So this is a resource that all of our customers can take advantage of, and we welcome you to come see a live demo and get training and anything that you'd really like to do to utilize us as one of your resources here in the flexo industry. A little bit about the space that we operate in our business. So within flexo and flexography in general, we deal with the imaging as well as the plate processing and the printing as far as getting those plates on press with our Rotec sleeves. So that is the space that our business operates in. And you know, we've been in this business for a long time. It actually goes back to the mid-1960s with BASF producing photopolymer relief plates for the printing industry. But in more recent times, we've had all kinds of advances and added to our portfolio that makes up who we are today as XSYS. So that includes not only plates, but thermal processing systems such as NiloFlex Express, as well as our Rotec sleeves, which are high-performance sleeves that make printing faster and easier, even with compressible layers for high-speed presses. Then we also have our digital imagers, such as ThermoFlex, with ultra-high resolution, and we'll be talking about that more in just a minute. And then now our Katina plate-making line. So no other company is offering all of this technology, and it's a fantastic opportunity for our customers, our customers, to come see this technology here today virtually and later in person if you have the opportunity. So with that said, we do want to get just a little bit into some of the plate and a little bit of the imaging technology that's going to be utilized with the demonstration today. And since we have a brilliant technical manager here with us, I'm going to turn it over to JVB. I'm going to head over to the equipment where we are going to get ready for the live demo. So I'll see you in a minute.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks.
Good morning again, everyone, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you today. As Dan outlined in the XSYS history slide, we have transformed from several business units into the one brand we represent today. And with that, our promise to you to print solid and stay flexible. Like our products, our company has also seen a transition in our technology, and we'd like to represent a little bit of time that we would take to talk about some of these products. Those being two of our products for our high premium quality printing flexographic industry. NEF was the first industry optimized and formulated plate for LED exposures. And that was released in 2014, so it's been around for a while. Our recently commercialized plate, FTV, is a hybrid plate and can be exposed with high-intensity tube banks or LED exposure technologies. FTV, when paired with LED exposures, offers a true one-to-one file-to-plate dot replication. Both of these plates are fine options because they hold the finest of surface screenings for this market segment. Speaking of surface screening, let's take a little bit about our woodpecker solutions. Woodpecker offers the finest resolution surface screening available in the traditional lamps market today. Woodpecker Nano and Sharp, used for the fine process and combo work, deliver smooth solids and greatly improve solid ink densities. While Woodpecker Nevis, with our 3 pattern options, boosts white ink opacity and provides very smooth, model-free ink coverage. Woodpecker is applied via proprietary technology at our Thermoflex imagers at resolutions up to 2540 versus the traditional 4000 and is not RIP dependent. So you not only benefit from all the deliverables of the finer surface screening textures, but this is achieved through reduced imaging time. All of our plate making equipment through the Thermoflex lines and our Katina equipment is made in a beautiful facility in Ypres, Belgium, with more than 25 years of experience and commitment, where we have put 7,000 imagers into the marketplace. We understand that the journey for full automation means a little bit to each one of our customers independently. That's why we've developed each one of the Katina plate processing equipments to be modular. That way, it allows you to configure your own plate making needs at your own speed. Katina means chained in Latin, and we are about to see a very revolutionary step in the first market fully automated plate processing system. Katina Plus is truly hands-free plate making from start to finish. The entire solution is only 37 feet in length, which is barely longer than the competitive inline processors alone. It eliminates the pain points of space constraints and inefficient plate room layouts. And since the entire system is linked, delays during production, which we all know operators moving plates from one machine to another, are removed, as the plates move seamlessly through the processing steps without any human interventions. A key benefit to eliminating these human interventions is the reduction of touch points, which has raised the potential to damage plates. Obviously, we know that's wasted material and time lost spent on remakes. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited in anticipation of the presentation that Dan and Casper are going to share with us at the Katina Plus. But before we cut away, just a quick reminder to open up your Q&A and submit your questions and comments so that we can review them at the end of the session. And with that, take it away, Dan.
Well, folks, I'm here with the Katina Plus and my colleague, Casper Lindholt, who is our senior engineer. Casper, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
And we are going to take a closer look at the Katina Plus system. I think it'd probably be a good idea if we did a quick walkthrough first, just to see an overview of the machine, and then we'll get right to it making some plates.
Absolutely.
So could you tell me a little bit first, Casper, about each module in the process?
Yes. We are talking about a sophisticated piece of equipment here. We're talking about a whole chain of machines, exactly what Katina means in Latin, chain. Everything is connected. But don't be afraid about that. You can also buy the machines individually. But let's have a look at it. We'll start out with the laser. It's a 2-head laser with 36 beams on each laser. This laser also is using skipped white zones, which means the time of exposing will be minimized.
So now this laser, Casper, it's capable of imaging at what resolutions?
You can image it with 2540, 4000, 4800, 5080 without any issues.
We'll get more into the laser, but also going to the next part of the process, we have what?
The first link in the chain, we have the bridge. The bridge is an add-on, which means you can buy the laser, you can also buy the exposure unit, Katina E, but you can link them together with the bridge.
So the bridge connects the laser to feed plates into the next part of the process.
Yes, the Katina E. The Katina E is our exposure, lead exposure. And as here in US, it comes with main exposure on LEDs and tube exposure for the back exposure.
Okay, so we're connecting everything together, eliminating the wait steps of manual plate making.
Yes.
But to get plates out of the exposure unit, we need another piece of equipment.
Absolutely.
And I see something a little bit unusual here. Tell us about this.
Yes. For moving the plate from the Katina E to the washer over here, we need to turn, we need to rotate the plate. So what is happening? This arm will go into the Katina E, take out the plate, it will rotate it here on the table, and automatically place it into the washer where it will be attached to the pin bar.
That's going to be really neat to see.
I'm looking forward to show that one.
That's really cool. So now
Yeah.
we're going to move on to the WDLS,
Yes.
which stands for.
Which stands for the washer, together with the dryer, and together with the light finisher and stacker. So we are having, like in this unit, 4 machines in one. So the washer is coming with 28 round brushes. The process will be done with 28 round brushes, go right through. But again, as it is with all the machines, it's hands off, which means you don't have to touch the pin bar, you don't have to touch the plate. So it's a full automatic processing machine. The plate will go through the washer all the way down here. Down here you will have the dryer. There is an automated lift inside. We'll look at that later. That is an awesome thing. So we'll go to the dryer. It will go to the stacker to rest a little bit. And then the plate will go to the light finisher to get finished up.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Can we see where the plates come out?
Yes, let's go and see
All right.
where the plates come out. So the plates are all coming out here. So when it's done with the light finishing, it's done with the drying, it has been resting a little bit, it will go down to the stacker. You will then have the option to see on the menu here, there you have all your drops to get out. It will flash, not just here, but also normally on the machine, it will flash in orange, and then you can just point out which one you want. So at the same time, you'll also see what will be on this job. The thumbnail will always be showed if you push wherever you want. So here we go. That could be this one, could be this one here. That one is not having a thumbnail, but this one here is having a thumbnail. That one, yeah. So in that way, we process plates.
Well, it all sounds really good, but
Yes.
can we actually make some plates?
We have to make a plate.
All right,
I have
let's
to
do
show
it.
how to make a plate. It's going to be amazing.
Well, I love making
super
plates,
excited.
especially when I don't have to touch anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So,
So-
but we did have to make, just for making the process time
Yep.
shorter for this webinar, we have done like a TV kitchen. We have made something that is half finished.
So
But
this
we'll
is
still-
shortened just a little bit in
we
the
have to
processing
shorten a little
times.
bit because,
Okay.
yeah,
Makes
absolutely.
sense.
So we got a plate on the table already. I will choose the job on the job list. Again, as you can see, you will have the thumbnail. You will have that on each machine. But today we will have this one. Let's put the automated, let's activate the automated button here. You need to specify how big is the plate, always. Because the drum is having vacuum that will make sure that the plate is like vacuum to the drum and will not fall off. For that, we have a vacuum slider. Why? Because you can also do partial plates in this machine. So in that way, we specify this one is a full-length plate. Yes. Does it cover the full drum? Yes, indeed it does. Today we are doing the thickest plate provided by XSYS, a 250. So that's why it's asking, do you want to use tape? No, we don't want to use tape. So I'll put that on X. You will now see the whole process starting. First of all, like I said before, the vacuum slider needs to be on the correct position. So inside, on the laser head, there is a pin going back and forward, and it will move the vacuum slider to the correct position. The drum will now turn around, and then it will be moved to the correct position. This takes around 10 seconds. So yeah.
Okay, so the vacuum slider, if you're making a smaller plate, it'll actually adjust itself
Yes.
based on the measurements you put in,
Exactly.
so you always get maximum vacuum.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
That's the whole point about it. that you have
That's
the
really
option.
smart. And
So-
here we go with the clamping of the plate.
Yes, this is the clamping of the plate. You can hear the vacuum start.
Yep.
So now the plate goes in.
Wow, that's really going in quickly.
It's going in so quickly. You can hear that now the vacuum is complete.
Nice.
Yes.
And so then you have a clamp on the other side of the plate, so it's held from both ends.
Absolutely.
Vacuum is set, and
Yes.
the door closes.
Again, hands off, it's full automatic, the door is closing. Now we actually have the option to get even more hands off. This is super important. You can now load another plate onto the machine, make sure it's aligned. You go into your job list, you will now have this button here. This button here is your next job. You can say, okay, we need to have this job done. So you push the button on that job, and then that job will be the next to go in full automatic. That means hands off. You will now have the option in 30 minutes, 45 minutes to do something else. Put more jobs into the machine, maybe go down to the end to take out some of the finished jobs. So in that way, you will have full efficiency of your worker.
Okay, now I'm going to step over here, Casper, so that we can capture the next step of the process, but I do have some questions for you about the imager.
Yeah.
So the ThermoFlex imager has been on the market for a number of years.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that it has 2 laser heads.
Yes, it does.
So you can have one or the option of 2 laser heads. What
Absolutely.
does that get you?
Yeah, you can. The fact that you have a 2-head laser head, which means normally with 1 head, you will spend 20, 25 minutes just for exposing 1 plate. That will be half time if you buy a machine with 2 laser heads.
So now JVB, he mentioned earlier about the woodpecker surface screening, the surface micro screening. Can you also do other types of files like LEN files,
Yeah.
TIFF files, different resolutions?
When you're working with the file in a program called Multiplate that we use, then it will we will be able to convert the LEN file to TIFF file. The TIFF file will go into the machine and be exposed there.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. No worries in that.
So even, I've heard that you can even do different resolutions on a single plate
Yes.
as well.
You can.
So
you can.
really gang up your work for more efficiency.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you can put different kind of resolutions on the same plate, and one head will do one, and it will do a resolution, and another head will do
I think
another.
something's
So-
happening. What's next?
Yes, what's next? Now it's time to unload or offload the plate. What is happening now is it will open completely the door. The drum will turn around because it needs to offload one end. It needs to loosen up one end of the plate. So that's what is happening. It will blow some air. You will hear that in a minute. Here we go. To make sure that the plate is loose. Now the drum will turn back up. Comes here. And then you will see the end right there. And the bridge is coming in to fetch the plate. Here we go.
So this is eliminating a pain point
Pain
because
point?
normally having to unload a 1/4 inch thick, a 250 plate,
Yes.
50 by 80 inches,
Yes.
it almost takes 2 people to do
Yes.
it normally.
Not today. Hands off.
Nice.
Hands off. So,
So-
the plate continues. It's ready to go in. Actually, at this point here, if we have activated a job, the next job would go into the laser, and this one would go into the Catena E. You can see the door is opening here.
It's already accepting the plate.
It's already accepting the plate. This takes between 7-10 seconds because we have some parts that is moving inside.
What if there was already a plate in there?
If there was already a plate in there, the plate will just wait on the bridge until the Catena E is empty and ready for accepting the new plates.
Now, something that we can't quite show from looking at it at this angle is that there's a lay-down system that actually unloads the
Yes.
plate evenly onto the table
Yes.
without dragging it.
Yes.
So you don't get crumbs, you don't get
No.
sticky spots on the
No.
glass, you don't
No.
get static.
Exactly. What is happening is that the bridge goes in, it offloads a little bit of the plate so it touches the glass already. Then, while it's going back, the blue ribbons will feed the plate into the machine and it will be laid down nice and easy and smooth. And the same position every time.
So in principle, this is all ready to make its next imaging plate.
Right
You've
now,
got
that
the
would be
exposure
happening.
unit getting
Yes.
ready now to expose the plate. Should we
Yes.
head over to the exposure panel?
Let's go to the exposure panel. So, what is happening now? It says closing shutter. That is simply because we want to preheat our tubes. for making sure that we have an even exposure of the back exposure.
So it should be mentioned that in the US, our exposure unit uses tubes for
Yes.
back exposure and high-powered LEDs for main exposure.
Absolutely.
And those tubes have a special design in the layout
Yes.
and the optics to give uniform exposure intensity.
Yes.
So part of that is this preheat, right?
Yeah.
That's going to
absolutely.
give you the same intensity for every back exposure.
It will. It is a preheating of normally 3 to 4 minutes for that back exposure. So now it's opening the shutter, which means it will go to the next point after the shutter is opened. Then it will start exposing the backside of the plate. When it's doing that, it will also start the main exposure. And here we are talking about more than 2,500 high-powered LED lamps exposing that plate.
That's approximately double the number of LEDs in other
That is
systems.
double of what we see on the market.
And what's interesting about that is that with so many LEDs in the system, you're covering the plate with more LED energy in a shorter period of time.
Yes.
So that's why we're able to do 250 plates,
Yes.
quarter-inch plates, or any thickness plates,
Yes.
really, in this type of machine. And again, we talked about this being plate making like you've never seen before.
Exactly.
That's certainly part of it.
Exactly. Exactly. So, even though that this machine is in a chain, you will be able to feed the machine yourself. Let's say you have another laser that you are exposing plate on. You will be able to take that plate, take it over here, and manually feed it into the machine from this side here. Even though that you have the rotator in between the exposure and the washer, you'll be able to put down this table, go in, and manually feed the machine.
Now, I
this
noticed with the lid closed, everything's enclosed, but you've got temperature
Absolutely.
control as well. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it will be easy. It's so much easier for this machine to control the temperatures and making sure that you have an environment that is clean, no dust, etc. Yeah, very
Okay.
important. So, next point.
We talked about pain points. We talked about the automation.
Yeah.
Getting the plate out of the exposure unit and into your washout unit is something
Yes.
that isn't really done in the industry
No.
until now.
No.
And we have a machine here which is really interesting.
Yeah, we have the first rotator.
So
Absolutely.
we have some special view angles so we can see it happening.
Yes. So what is happening is that the arm is going in to the Catena E. 2 pads will be pushed down on the plate. That doesn't matter because the plate has already got light, so nothing will be damaged.
Is that a suction, like a vacuum that's picking
Oh,
up
no,
the
no,
plate?
no, 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 no. Don't use suction. You will destroy the plate. There you will destroy the plate. No, what is happening is that we are blowing air underneath that plate already inside the LED. When it's on the table, there will be 3 holes in the table, blowing just a little bit of air, so it will make the plate floating. And then it's easy for the arm to move around with the plates.
So even with a large and fairly heavy 250 plate,
Yes,
it moves that plate with very little effort.
absolutely.
And now I can see that it is squaring up the plates
Yeah.
straight to the entrance of the washout unit.
Absolutely.
So we must have pins there that detect the squareness and positioning as
Yes.
well so that we know everything is okay.
And I will show you that just in a second. Here we go. Yes.
Okay.
So, again, even though that is in a chain, the Catena E and the washer, I would like to show how you can manually load a partial plate.
That's a good question because a
Yes.
lot of people are asking, I love the automation, but I also have other imagers.
course.
How do I load a plate into the machine manually?
We need to give that freedom that they can also put their own plates into the machine.
Please show us.
Yes, so I'll make some space
Okay.
by moving the head of that rotator. Here we go. I'll move that one. It's going over there, so I'll get more table space.
Yep.
Yes, I will go back. And then we have the partial plate right here. There you heard a sound. That sound is the security of the rotator, which means when I'm moving in, I have my arm over here. This one will detect this, and the rotator will not move. Many people are like thinking, okay, why is there no fence? There is. But
So
you
it's a
cannot see that fence because that one is
It's an
the fence.
invisible fence.
Invisible fence, exactly. Good. So, this is the partial plate. We'll put that in. You have like some lines that you can see where it's supposed to be in the middle. And then we'll put in here. And
Now-
we will hit these pins. You can hear the sound saying, okay, I'm going good here. I'm ready to punch it.
So it's punching it in the machine.
It's simply punching it in the machine. Yeah. So now it's ready.
It's already on the pin bar,
It's
too.
already on the pin bar. It's amazing. You don't have to first make holes in the plate and then put it on the pin bar, then put the pin bar in the machine.
It's already
It's
there.
all done in one movement.
I
In
love
one-
it.
Yes. So let's choose the job to do. That will be this one. So it comes up, we can put a name on it. That name will also go to the DLS. So you can always follow your job, how far is that particular job.
I'm going to
The only
step out
thing-
of the way a little bit so they
Yes,
can film
please.
that.
The only thing you will not see here is a thumbnail because, of course, this
Yep.
job has not been sent from our computer. But we will still delete the name here. And today's customer is XSYS. Here we go. Push OK. Comes with the speed. And now it will go in. Yep.
So the automatic punching, the
Yes.
automatic pinning,
Yes.
the pin bars, do they ever come out of the machine?
No. They should come out of the machine 1 or twice a year, simply for cleaning a little bit of the pins. But besides that, you do not touch that. So, I need to make a disclaimer here, because of course it is not possible to operate the machine with the door open. But we want to see what's going on, right? Yeah, we do. So, right here, we got the transporter. This is the transporter of the pin bar. That's the deal, where you don't have to touch the pin bar as an operator. We can, in the meantime, have a look down here. You can see the 28 round processing the plate. You have the spray bar. It's easy to clean. And the whole thing is about that we have space. We have space to move around with hands and opening things.
So it's really brilliant that the whole lid is a gull wing that opens up
Exactly.
with struts,
Yes.
and then you're able to remove panels just
Absolutely.
on the brushes that
Just
you
on
need
the-
to work on for
Exactly.
maintenance. So
Exactly.
you're not exposing the whole air
No.
to all the solvents.
No.
Fantastic.
Exactly. So these panels are here for keeping the evaporation
Nice.
inside. So let's have a look here. Now it took the pin bar for the next plate. The transporter is moving all the way down here to the exit to get the next pin bar waiting down there. So right now, this machine is ready for the next plate already. That is working. That is something.
So how many pin bars are in the machine altogether?
We are having 3 pin bars in this one.
Now, do these pin bars, I know on a lot of the automated systems, they go with the plate into the dryer and into the light
Not
finisher.
here. Not here.
So what happens in that case with those machines is you get baked on polymer, baked on carbon mask,
Yeah.
and they get hard to clean after
Exactly.
a while.
Exactly.
Do
Not at
these
this
ever
point.
go into the dryer at
No,
all?
never, never. You will not have them in the dryer. You will not have them in the light finisher. It will be in this environment here, just rotating
So they
between
stay clean.
the exit and they stay clean.
Elimination of another pain point.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And here comes
So,
another pin bar.
Here we go. It just picked up that pin bar. It's coming all the way back and getting ready to whenever a new job is coming in. It's super important.
Excellent.
Yes. We also have to talk about, once in a while, you have to clean the tank. It's a part of the operator maintenance. And it's all the time, it's hard because there's no space. So look at this tank.
So this is the washout solution.
Yes.
Which is Nylosolve C.
Yes.
That's our own brand of solvent in the U.S. And the great thing about Nylosolve C is it rarely needs any balancing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it also breaks down the carbon mask, the
Yes.
lamb's layer, into small particles.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't build up on the machine, and it's easy to pump out of the machine. Of course, we also have a pre-wash
Yes, we
to
do.
remove most of that mask and send it to distillation before
Exactly.
it ever sees the
Let
machine.
me introduce to you. So we got here the pre-wash section. This is just for the black mask. We got over here the main tank for the rest of the washout unit. So, but the thing is, look at all this space you got here. You got also some float sensors, and that float sensor will tell you exactly how many liters are we having in the tank. Normally we work with a setting point of 200 liters. We don't work with gallons in that system, but 200 liters of solvent in the tank, it can vary between 170 and 230 liters. That kind of depends on how many liters are we having in the operation area, the washing area.
So this is precision measurement of how much
Yes.
solvent is being used.
It is.
Beyond high or low.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly. So, on the screen, if we have a look at the screen, you can now see how far is the plate. You will always be able to see the process ongoing. Also on the job up here, we are more or less 54% in the process. We are missing 4 minutes until the plate is at the end for getting detached and go into the dryer. Yeah?
So what's next in the process?
The next in the process is the DLS, the dryer, light finisher, and stacker. So the plate will go all the way down. We'll see that in a minute. And we will see how it looks like when it's getting detached.
Can we see inside of here?
We can have a look inside of here.
You've got the magic keys.
Like before, disclaimer, cannot do that with open doors. We cannot operate the machine normally with open doors.
Special demonstration.
Yes. So,
Wow.
hey, here comes a plate. Yes. So, this is our output area. We are having a small towel for just taking the small stuff. Then the plate is coming out directly onto the carrier. You could hear the speed going up because now the plate end is outside the washer. Then there is no reason for doing the slow speed. So the speed will speed up and go all the way to the end.
Is that a chain drive or a screw drive?
That's a screw drive.
Okay.
It's, and this is due to the transfer of the energy for dragging that heavy plate.
So the screw drive is, of course, famously reliable, but does it stay clean? I mean, how do you maintain that?
It stays clean because it is outside the area, the washing area. You don't have that polymer buildup on the lead screw like you have on a chain. So again, it's less time for that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something pretty interesting is about to happen. We're going to have the de-pinning of the plate,
Yes.
which to me, again, it's another pain point of making plates is how do you get the plate off the pin bar and how does that work automatically? So I'm going to step out of the way a little bit so that you
Yes.
can point that out and the camera can also get a little closer.
Absolutely. In a minute, the pin bar would be at the end of the output area. So when it comes down there, it will go down into like a position where it will stay, and then we have two electromagnets going down to hold the pin bar. When it's holding the pin bar, it will push up some fingers simply to loosen up. And look very carefully because it happens really fast. So here comes the magnets. They will go down now. Epla.
That's
and
it.
now it's depinned.
Wow.
Ready for going into the dryer. And the plate is going directly on the carrier. That's the tray. That's the whole thing. And it will stay on that tray until we want to have the finished plate.
So now that tray will go into the dryer.
Absolutely.
Moving to the side, it actually moves out horizontally.
Yes.
So do we have any images of what's going on inside of the dryer and light finishers?
We will have that in a second.
Okay.
So yeah, so let me
There it
close
goes.
this on up, and then we can have a look. Here we go. So we go to the end. So actually at this end, that's here where we get the finished product out. So right now you can hear it's taking up the plate that we just processed. I will call out a job here. And whenever the lift is ready for catching that job, then the job will come down here. That will take, give it 30 seconds.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the illustration on the touch panel display shows the position of all the plates in the system.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You can see here we got plates in the stacker. We got plate in the elevator. In a second, I will see the next plate is going into dryer 1.
Yeah.
I will even have the option when the plate is out to push this button here, and then I can see the timing. Now this timing is, of course, for today, for this webinar. There will be another specific timing for the plates that you are operating with in your company. But yeah, you will also here see a green bar starting up, building up the timing, and so you can see how far are we in the process.
So now, the inside of the machine where the robotics are moving the plates in and out, we
Yes.
do have some camera work to show
Exactly.
that as well.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we can narrate a little bit about
Yes, so now it's
what's
picking up
happening.
the tray that I called for. I have called this tray to come down. So it's coming out. Nice and easy. Yeah, this is good. And when it's all the way out, it will go down to the output.
how many shelves or how many layers of stacking and dryers do you have in this?
So we are talking about 10 dryers.
10 dryers.
10 dryers. 1 light finisher. There's no need for more than 1. And 7 stacking positions. The
Fantastic.
stacking position is used for when a plate needs to rest. It's nice to have a plate that is cooling down a little bit after the dryer before it goes to the light finisher. And then from the light finisher, when it's done, it will go down to the stacker area and wait there until we need that job. Yeah.
So we have plates moving in the video right now. It looks like there's
coming to us now.
a 250 plate.
Yes, that one is coming to us now.
Okay.
Yes. Just 10 seconds more and then we will have it right here.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're able to call up plates at the receiving end of the machine here at the back, and just a little bit of information about
Yes.
are you able to actually see which plate is which? How do you know?
Yeah, we are able to do that. Normally we can like push to get the thumbnail, for
Oh,
example.
you can actually see an image of the
You
plate.
can see an image of the plate.
That's
To make
fantastic.
sure that, okay, it's that I want to have
Great.
out now because now the customer needs it. But lucky us,
Yep.
look at this.
Well, the plate's already here.
We got a plate. So let me just take it out.
All right. Beautiful.
Here we go. This is a nice clean plate.
Absolutely no tack.
No, not at all. This one is beautiful. Brilliant.
Well, that's a perfect looking plate.
It is indeed.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is plate making like I've never seen before, and I hope other people are as excited about it as I am. In fact, there's probably some questions that the audience has sent over to
I hope so.
JVB at the desk.
Absolutely.
So we should probably head back to him and answer some of those questions.
Let's go.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Guys, I gotta say, that was one impressive demonstration of a very unique and brilliant piece of equipment. Casper, I gotta say, that was one good-looking plate as well. I also want to mention that we are recording this live session today, so those of you that want a link to this at the end of the session, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll send it off to you. With that, we're going to begin our question and answer segment, and here we've got a first question already. Dave Garnash is asking, how many pins can be used at one time, and how many dryers does it have?
Yeah, I believe when he's talking about pins, he's talking about pin bars. So let's say you put in a job. It has one washing time, and that one goes through the washer, and then you put in the same plate type with the same washing time, then you can actually have 2 pin bars going on. But of course, if it's with 2 different timings, then it will only be 1 pin bar at the time. The other one, you will still be able to put the plate on, and it will be waiting until the first plate is detached. When it comes to dryers, the DLS is having 10 dryers. But let's say you want to buy the standalone model, then it will have 6 dryers.
Thanks, Casper. Our second question, again, is from Dave, a little extension of the first one. What's the PM needed weekly, monthly, and yearly schedule, Casper?
Well, of course, you have to look into your tank. You need to look into your solvent. There'll be a cleaning in your your pre-wash section. You look through the machine that everything looks tight. So that's basically more or less it. You need to. There's some few cleaning steps you need to go through, but not a big deal.
Our next question. Jason Berry asked, where does the pinhole waste go and where is it collected?
The thing is, there is no there's no waste. It's like 117 needles that is going up through the plate, and that's it. There's no, we don't.
So it's just piercing the plate.
It's just
basically.
piercing the plate, basically. Yeah,
That must make for a very secure connection as it goes through the washer.
absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Next question. What's the compatibility of this system with all types of flexo plates and solvents?
Well, I mean, the good news is that it works with the vast majority of different plate types. There's always a few specialty plates that might require special processing, but in general, the vast majority of commercial plates, thick and thin, from a 30 thousandths plate, an 030, all the way to a 250-inch plate, a 635, and even a little thicker than that, are all possible to wash in this processor using settings that you can set up, and we'll assist with that setup, of course. As far as the washout solvents, we have not tested every washout solvent on the market, but we do have several different of the major leading types in these machines today. And I mean, they all work very well. We recommend, of course, our Nylosolv C, which is our solvent here in the US that has a nice feature of helping to break down that black digital mask layer, and then also the self-balancing. It sort of keeps itself in balance so you don't need to do too many adjustments to it. Do you have anything else to add to that?
I don't. I think you covered it very well, Dan.
Okay.
Next question. Can you feed plates into the Katina exposure or washer that come from other lasers or exposure units?
Indeed, you can. Actually, we can go and check that out right on the washer, and I'll show you how to do that again. So let's go over there. So I just took this plate from another laser or another exposure. Let's say for the washer, I took it from another exposure. Again, you just put it in nice and easy. And when you hit the pins all the way in here, it will come with a sound. Here we go. You hear that sound? That's the same as now we are ready to punch it. I also want to show you if you have a laser, right? Then, even though that you have the rotator, you'll be able to feed this machine by hand. So you take this table down. Here we go. And as you can see, I have plenty of room to touch the plate, etc., etc. I will roll this plate up. Take that one away. Go. Then I have my plate from the other laser. Put that in here. And then we made an error here simply for making sure that the plate will be positioned correctly. And then you're ready to go. So you go out, you close. And when this one is closed, we are ready to choose our job. Choose our job. Make sure the size is correct. Now I'll not change the size on this one. On both sides. Then it comes up with the preset you want to use. I will say this is ACE up. You can put in the job name just for a reference later. And then activate it. Come up with the timing. This is a 12-minute job. Good. And here we go. All activated. So now the machine will run. So yeah, that's how it is.
Next question.
Thanks, Casper. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I assume many of our watchers today are integrated printers, which means they're making their own plates. So the question is how many plates per day, I'm assuming 3 shifts, meaning around the clock, can a Katina Plus produce?
I think the answer is a lot.
The answer is a lot. We do have do have this whole line installed in different customers in Europe and also in Australia, and we see that they do an average of 55 plates, and this is, of course, this depends on what kind of plate type, thickness, etc. But it can be an average up to 55 plates.
Which is about 500,000 square feet or about 50,000 square meters per year. So it's a lot of plate material.
Guys, that's a lot of plates.
It is.
And hands-free.
And hands-free.
Nice.
Very important.
Is a 50 by 80 plate size possible at this time?
Absolutely. It
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
all the way to 50 by 80 and even smaller than that. Certainly, we can go down. You just simply set the settings in the parameters of the laser, and that information is fed into the entire Katina Plus, so it knows the length of the plate for each step of the process. Now, if you are lasering a plate that is less than 50 inches around, then you would need to put tape on the end to secure the tail end of the plate.
Yeah, and as Dan just addressed our next question, half sheets need to be used when you're taping down the plate for a drum.
That's a 2-for-1 answer.
That is correct.
Absolutely.
Next question.
It looks like the plate maker had to be at each station to enter data. Is that correct? And if so, can you enter all the data needed from the plate from start to finish
I
at
think
the beginning?
that's a perfect question, Keith. The thing is, we're using a program called Multiplate. So you make the job there, and when you send the job to the laser, you send the job to each and every machine. That's where you have the option to see the thumbnail and the picture of what is on this plate on every machine that you go to. You don't have to go and put it all in manually. Of course, though, if you go manually on inserting plates into the exposure and to the washer, yeah, then when you're there, you have to put in your presets.
So Casper, you're saying we have traceability of where that plate is in this process at any time?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Next question. How well does the system detect errors and crashes and preventing plates from piling up, such as an unmanned scenario?
Well, the thing is, every machine is communicating with each other. If one machine is not ready, then the machines before that machine, they will simply stop. They will finish the production of the plate, but they will not move the plate to the next machine. So you'll be able to fix the error and continue from where the error came in.
Yep. Should also mention, you may have noticed something that we didn't point out earlier, which is the colored lights that are projected onto the floor along the sides and fronts of the machine. So those actually mean something.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
green means what?
Green means good or standby. We also have the orange. When the orange is flashing, for example, at the DLS, that means there is a job finish. You could go down and you can take out that job. Yeah.
So you can also monitor some screen information from another laptop type device.
Absolutely.
So that you don't have to be physically in the room to see that an error has occurred. You also get audio warnings and the visual warnings from the LEDs.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Next question. Do you need to synchronize the two lasers to assure that imaging is the same?
That should be done. It's done from the factory. So when you put in the job, the machine will calculate itself. Where shall I start? The thing is, our lasers are skipping white zones, which means it will not use time on exposing on areas on the plate that doesn't need exposure. And that goes for both heads. So the machine is calculating itself. How do you want to expose it? But of course, you also have the option to say, okay, I'll put a line in the plate, and from there, the two heads will start and end.
Thanks, Casper. Next question. Which plates can be used with Katina E LED exposure?
So maybe that's a question for yourself as the technical manager. I know that Katina E works with a lot of different plate types. Of course, it's designed to make flat top. from a standard plate. You can also set it to image plates that have flat top sort of built into it. What type of plate would you not use with an LED system?
Typically, Dan, we don't encourage customers to use plates that have a laminated film to them due to the temperature that occurs with the LED exposures. And you are correct. We would recommend or encourage the new generation of LED enhanced plates or optimized plates. But the caveat to this is every plate that you put in there, assuming it's a round top going in, is going to come out as a flat top version. Does the exposure unit monitor, manage UV energy levels and compensate, or are manual measurements and time adjustments still required?
Indeed, it does. Every time you start up that machine, it will start measuring. It will preheat the tubes. It will start measuring the back exposure to make sure that you have the same energy all over the plate. So yeah, it does that.
Perfect. Next question.
Or are we at the end of questions?
I think that may look like it concludes our question and answer segment.
Okay. Well, that's it. But if you have more questions, first of all, please send an email to us at info@xsysglobal.com. Secondly, you can visit our website, xsysglobal.com, where there's more information that you can view and download. Also, this wonderful event will be available for you to watch. It is being recorded, so if you want someone else to see it who wasn't able to attend this event live, we're happy to share that link with you. And besides that, take us out, JVB.
First of all and foremost, I'd like to thank my co-host here to help support this presentation. A special thanks goes out to the team at Ant Farm for their media presentation.
Absolutely.
Kirsten Borden is one of our own people here at the Charlotte facility and did a great job coordinating this event. And of course, my appreciation and thanks to the whole Charlotte team that did a lot of behind the scenes work. With that, thanks very much for your time and thanks for watching.